first time Daniel Foster saw the grave, it wasn't even supposed to exist. The cemetery map didn't list it. The caretaker denied anything of that name. And yet there it stood. Plot 39B. A crooked stone with his own full name carved into it, weathered as if it had been there for a century. He'd come to Willow Ridge Cemetery searching for his brother's resting place, but instead found a grave that felt like it was waiting for him. The air around it was wrong. Heavy, too still, thick like old breath. As he stepped closer, a cold tremor skittered across his skin, and for a second, he swore the ground beneath the grave shifted, almost like something underneath had moved. Daniel's brother, Aaron, had disappeared 3 weeks earlier, leaving behind nothing but a voicemail where he whispered, "If something happens to me, don't go back to the grave. Don't repeat it. Don't let it loop." Daniel had never understood what that meant, but now the words thudded in his skull like a heartbeat. He knelt beside the strange grave, brushing dirt off the worn letters, and instantly regretted touching it. A low hum vibrated through the soil, rising into his bones, into his skull, into his memory. The world tilted, the clouds warped, and the cemetery seemed to blink out, just for a second, like reality hiccuped. He jerked his hand back, breathing hard, but the ground settled again, as if nothing had happened. He told himself he imagined it, though deep down he knew he didn't. That night, the dreams began, dark corridors, echoing footsteps, voices calling his name from underground. He would wake up gasping, sheets tangled, heart racing, always with the same ringing in his ears, a shovel hitting dirt. The next morning, when he returned to the cemetery, the grave wasn't where he remembered. Instead of being near the old oak tree, it sat 3 rows left, positioned between 2 mausoleums like it had always been there. Same name, same stone, same eerie wrongness in the air. "You're not supposed to be here," the caretaker muttered, looking pale when Daniel confronted him. "Some graves move. It's not me doing it. It's the history. People think cemeteries are quiet, but some stay awake." His voice shook, and Daniel realized the man wasn't afraid of him. He was afraid of the grave itself. That night, Daniel visited his parents' house and found letters hidden in Aaron's room. Pages filled with frantic scribbles about a loop, a cycle of death repeating itself every time someone found the grave that belonged to them. "The grave is older than time," Aaron had written. "It chooses a person. It shows them their own death before it happens. But if you touch it, you start the loop again." Daniel felt the blood drain from his face as he remembered touching the stone. His phone buzzed. An unknown number. A voicemail. He played it. His own voice whispered, "Don't go back to the grave." His heart froze. That wasn't possible. He hadn't recorded anything like that. He tried calling the number back, but it didn't exist. Later that night, he heard footsteps outside his apartment, slow and dragging, pacing back and forth like someone circling a room. When he opened the door, the hallway was empty, but muddy footprints led from the entrance to his door and then vanished. Sleep grew impossible. Each time he drifted off, he dreamed of himself lying in a coffin, dirt pouring over his face, his brother standing above him, whispering. "I tried to stop it, but the loop has to complete." Daniel became desperate. He went back to the cemetery at midnight, flashlight trembling in his hand, determined to destroy the stone and end whatever nightmare had started. But when he reached plot 39B, the grave was open, freshly dug, dark, waiting. "I didn't dig it," the caretaker whispered from behind him, voice cracking. "It opens on its own when the time comes." The flashlight flickered. Something moved inside the grave. Something that looked like him. Pale skin, dirt-caked hands, eyes wide and empty, wearing the same clothes he had on right now. His own corpse clawing upward. Daniel stumbled back, screaming, as the corpse pulled itself out, its jaw moving like it was learning how to use it again. "You touched the stone," it rasped, its voice a warped version of his own. "Now take my place. Let the loop continue." The caretaker bolted, vanishing between the tombstones, leaving Daniel alone as the corpse crawled toward him with impossible strength. Daniel ran, but the cemetery paths twisted, turning in circles, leading him back to the same grave again and again. Every exit he sprinted toward shifted, flickered, realigned, trapping him in a maze. His corpse stood at the center, waiting with a calmness that made Daniel's blood turn to ice. "Someone has to be in the grave," it said softly. "Someone has to finish dying so the next loop can begin." Daniel refused. He fought. He kicked. He threw rocks. But the more he resisted, the more reality bent. The sky inverted, the stars spun backward, and the tombstones began reshaping themselves into a spiral pointing toward the open grave. With each cycle around the spiral, the world rewound a few seconds, replaying sound, replaying movement, the loop tightening around him. His corpse only watched. Silent, patient, eternal. Then Daniel tripped, falling to his knees at the grave's edge. A cold hand grabbed his ankle from inside. Another wrapped around his shoulder. He screamed, clawing at the dirt as it pulled him down. He felt ribs crack, soil fill his mouth, darkness swallow him whole. His last thought wasn't fear, it was understanding. Aaron hadn't died. He'd been pulled into his own loop. And now Daniel was joining him. The world blinked. A delay of 2 seconds. Then 3. The sky reset. The soil smooth. The grave closed. A few hours later, the caretaker cautiously approached the once open grave and froze in horror. The tombstone had changed again. Fresh letters carved in perfect symmetry. The same name carved back into the stone, Daniel Foster. But now the date of death was updated to today. As he backed away, shaking, a low hum drifted through the cemetery, the sound of dirt shifting from inside the grave. The loop had begun again. Anyone who found the grave would eventually repeat the cycle. Born to die, die to replace, replace to trap the next soul. The grave would move. The grave would wait. The grave would find its next name. And somewhere beneath the soil, Daniel opened his eyes in the dark.